This is not a rally. It is a public meeting where we do meaningful transactions and exchange and dialogue and take actions together. We have appointed two chairpersons who's going to be leading our meeting this afternoon. They are the ones who are charged with holding us accountable to this agenda that you have in your hands, printed in green. This agenda came out and emerged out of hundreds of conversations between parents, teachers, administrators, community members, in house meetings, in living rooms, and churches, and synagogues. We have approved this agenda and proposed it to this body, which means that our chairperson will hold us accountable for what we have decided we're going to do this afternoon. No one will speak unless they're recognized by the chair. I also want to recognize the floor team captains that are standing in our audience. Could you please raise your hand if you're on the floor team? Look around. Find a floor team person near you. They are the chairs of this meeting from the floor. They will help floor team help chair this meeting from where they're standing. Because this is a business meeting. The way that we are going to react to our leaders and our officials is that we will cheer and applaud respectfully when we approve of their reaction. But when we don't, the best reaction is silence. We don't boo, we don't shout out comments. If we do not approve of a response, we remain silent. I want to introduce the most important person here this afternoon in this room. Jane Hirsch, please stand up. From Emmanuel Presbyterian, she is our timekeeper.
Why are we here today? I'm the assistant director of Temple Isaiah Religious School. I have 3 daughters. I have a daughter in college, and I have 2 daughters at Emerson Middle School. When my daughter, who is in college, was about to go to middle school, Emerson was simply not an option for us. It is 6 years later, and time for my twins to go to middle school, and I was tired of spending hours in the car to schools that were far beyond my neighborhood. And after meeting Principal Kathy Gonella and some of the teachers at Emerson, I decided that Emerson would be a great place for us. One of the reasons we are here today is to directly confront the fears, anxieties, and rumors about our neighborhood schools. Once I educated myself about Emerson, I was able to add several hours to my life and my children's lives out of the car. Today we are here as an organized, broad network of adults who are acting over time to make all of our children successful. This is not only about Westside schools. Emerson and its feeder schools is an example and the focus of our agenda today. But we stand for children, and we are working in all of their behalf. So, does everybody have an agenda for this afternoon's meeting? Raise your agenda if you have one. So, we are going to be holding ourselves accountable with the leadership of our chairpersons so that we can engage as meaningful conversations and actions as a network of adults, not only in the West Side, but all across this city. I'm going to entertain a motion from the floor that we approve this agenda in front of us so that we can get started in our meeting. Anybody? Can I get a second? Second. All right. So all who approve this agenda say aye. Aye. That seems to be unanimous to me. So we are getting ready as we have some last minute folks who are streaming in here. Are we ready to get started? Yes.
Let Let me ask the folks from Temple Isaiah, are you ready to get started? Oh, that didn't sound like 200 people. Are you ready to get started? Right.
Now that we've approved the agenda and are clear on why we're here, it's time to begin the meeting. Please welcome Rabbi Dara Freemer from Temple Isaiah, Principal Robert Cordova from Harmony Elementary School, and all of our representatives who are here for our meeting today.
I'm Rabbi Dara Freemer from Temple Isaiah.
And I'm Robert Cordova, Principal, Harmony Elementary School.
It is my honor to welcome up Rabbi Zoe Klein, Senior Rabbi at Temple Isaiah, to offer us some words of Torah this morning.
Along with Rabbi Freemer and Rabbi Palmer, and we're grateful that so many of you are here. Once upon a time, there was a little boy who was playing hide and seek with other children. And this little boy hid himself so well and waited for his playmates to find him. He waited and waited and waited until he finally decided to emerge from his hiding place. And when he did, he saw that all the other children were gone, that he had not been looked for at all, that he was forgotten. And he came to his grandfather weeping. His grandfather heard his story and started weeping as well, and he said, "Oh, my child, what a painful story." And it is a story that is true for so many. There are so many children like you, beautiful, hopeful, diverse, wonderful children, and in this great game of life, they are hidden from view, and no one seeks them or supports them. And there are families, extraordinary, proud, struggling, loving families, full of energy and ideas, and no one invites them, and no one seeks their story or input. Tell your story, and invite others to share theirs. Stories of aloneness, of fear, of hopes and dreams. Tell your story and come out of your hiding, because shared sorrow is half a sorrow, and shared joy is double joy, and shared stories create shared dreams, and shared dreams lead to a better tomorrow. We are here in this sanctuary, and we've all come out of our hidden spaces. Here in this sanctuary, we are not hiding and seeking, we are finding and seeking. Finding our voices to tell our stories, and seeking support for our children and families. A network of teachers and parents and families and principals and clergy and council members and superintendents. We listen to one another's weeping and wishing, and what we weep for, and what we wish for, and what we organize for in an ongoing conversation campaign is for a thriving public school community, because a thriving public school community is the heart of our neighborhoods. Tomorrow is full of promise. Let us take positive actions today that tomorrow, as a new school week begins, the lessons will already have been learned. That it is the moral obligation of every adult to care about the future of every child. And that is why we are here. And that is why we are no longer hiding. And that is what we are seeking. And that is why we have come together. Because it's the moral obligation of every one of us to care about the future of every child. God bless the work of our hands and the hope in our hearts. Amen.